Dogs are wonderful and terrifying at the same time. In researching this video, I found out things that make no sense at all and are just plain weird, like more than normal weird. Specifically, weird things number 5 and number 1. So stay tuned on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. I have always had dogs. My first dog when I was an infant was a 180-pound Irish Wolfhound. Loved him. My best dog was an 80-pound German Shepherd American Grey Wolf mix that was the smartest animal ever to walk the planet. Now, who was your favorite? Actually tell me down in the comments instead of blowing this question off. All right, let's dig in. First, the stuff we all need to know. A dog is a domesticated mammal and beloved companion known for its loyalty, intelligence, and playful nature. Descended from wolves, dogs have been human partners for thousands of years, offering protection, companionship, and assistance in various tasks like herding, hunting, even therapy. With over 300 breeds, each with its own unique traits, dogs come in all shapes and sizes, but they all share a common ability to form deep emotional bonds with humans. Whether through wagging their tails, goofy antics, or keen sense of smell, dogs bring joy, comfort, and plenty of love to those around them. In short, dogs are intelligent, affectionate, versatile creatures that have earned the title of man's best friend many times over. I am surrounded by 3 miniature schnauzers as we speak. Everybody got that? Good. Weird thing number 5. Can dogs smell time? Dogs can tell how long you've been gone by how much your scent has faded. So while you're binge watching, your dog is busy keeping track of how long you've been ignoring them. As the sun moves, smells rise and fall with the temperature. Your dog doesn't need a fancy smartwatch. They've got the sun and their nose syncing up like a natural timepiece. Dogs know when it's time for a walk, dinner, or your regular 3 p.m. nap based on how the house smells at those times, and they remember those smells. Their nose is basically their personal Google Calendar, but with more sniffing. When you leave your house, your scent lingers but gradually fades. By sniffing the air, your dog can tell how long you've been gone, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, also helping them decide how guilty to make you feel once you get back. Now, dogs can pick up on multiple layers of scent in one sniff, like reading a time-stamped novel of smells. Okay, breakfast happened here, then, yes, the laundry, and now it's definitely treat time. Now, as the day progresses and scents change, dogs can sense time passing. Your scent right when you left is different from 4 hours later. So if you're running late for dinner, don't be surprised if your dog gives you that side eye that says, hey, according to my nose, you're way past kibble 30, dude. Weird thing number 4. Ways to identify your dog. Nose prints are like doggy foot fingerprints. Every dog's nose has a unique pattern, like a personal sniff signature, much like a fingerprint. So if your dog had a criminal record, looking at you, counter surfers, they'd be busted by their nose print. Their bark is a personal ringtone. Each dog has a one-of-a-kind bark. It's like their custom ringtone. If you've ever had multiple dogs, you know exactly who's calling when they bark at the mailman. Fur patterns, kind of like nature's ID badge. No 2 dogs have the exact same fur patterns, which means that your dog's spots or stripes are as unique as their sense of humor or lack thereof when it comes to bath time. Tail wags are a signature move. The way a dog wags its tail can be as unique as a signature. Some wag left, some wag right, some wag so hard they look as if they're about to take off. I mean, who needs subtlety when you've got a propeller? And their eyes don't lie. Dogs with unique eye colors or heterochromia, 2 different colored eyes, are like walking art pieces. One says, I'm adorable. The other says, I'm plotting something. Doggy DNA kits exist. Yes, you can now trace your dog's ancestry with a DNA test. It's like, who do you think you are for dogs? Except instead of royalty, you might find out your pup is 25% couch potato and 75% food enthusiast. I had a dog that we thought was a husky that we got from the pound, and it wasn't until years later we had a longtime dog breeder that enlightened us that it was a German Shepherd American Grey Wolf mix. Weird thing number 3. The language of tail wagging. A right wag, happy camper. When a dog wags their tail to the right, it's a sign they're feeling pretty good. It's their version of giving you a thumbs up, with more tail wagging and way more enthusiasm. Left wag, unsure vibes. A wag to the left means your dog is feeling a bit cautious and unsure. It's like they're saying, I don't know about this, but I'm going to keep wagging just in case treats are involved. A slow wag, deep thought. If your dog's tail is wagging slowly, they might be thinking things over. It's like the dog version of rubbing their own shin thoughtfully, except instead of deep philosophical questions, they're probably pondering how best to steal your sandwich. I have a dog in the house that does that regularly. The helicopter wag. Pure joy overload. When a dog's tail starts going in circles like helicopter blades, they're so happy they might take off. It's like they've hit the peak excitement and just can't contain themselves. Clear the runway. A low wag. I'm sorry, please forgive me. If your dog's tail is wagging low and slow, it's their way of apologizing for chewing up your favorite shoes. It's their best attempt at looking remorseful while still giving you puppy eyes. If there's no wag, don't mess with me. If a dog's tail isn't wagging at all, it's a clear message, not in the mood. Kind of like when your Wi-Fi stops working, you just kind of stare at the router in frustration. At this point, if their ears drop like they're going through a wind tunnel, watch your ass. Take a step back. Weird thing number 2. How to tell when dogs are pissed off. The stiff tail stance. When a dog's tail goes stiff and stops wagging, we talked about this a second ago, it's like they've hit serious mode. I'm not mad, yet. Think of it as their tail giving you the silent treatment. The famous side eye. If your dog is giving you the side eye while slowly turning their head away, you might have crossed the line. Like maybe they weren't in the mood for that cute costume. It's the doggy equivalent of passive-aggressive glare. Growling. The canine back off alert. A low growl is a sure sign that your dog is pissed. Like they're muttering, I wouldn't do that if I were you, under their breath. It's their subtle yet very clear way of warning that belly rub should cease immediately. Baring their teeth is the second part of this. It's a threat and a promise all in one. Ears back, but not in a good way. If your dog's ears are pinned back and their body is tense, you're entering the danger zone. It's like they're wearing an invisible do not disturb sign, and they mean it. Lip curl. A slight curl of the lip means that your dog is really not amused. It's the canine equivalent of someone raising an eyebrow and saying, you want to test me? So back up, unless you like scars on your hands. The I'm done, walk away. Sometimes when dogs are mad, they don't bark or growl. They just walk away. It's like they're saying, like, I can't even with you right now. Leaving you to reflect on what you did to deserve the cold shoulder. And finally, weird thing number 1. Are dogs colorblind? Dogs don't see in black and white. Now, contrary to popular belief, dogs aren't stuck in the black and white world like old-time movies. This is what I have always thought, but it turns out they do see colors, but their color palette is limited, kind of like watching life through a vintage Instagram filter. Dogs are red-green colorblind, so they can't see red or green. So a red ball on green grass, to them, it's basically an intense game of hide and seek. It's all just various shades of yellowish gray, but they still find it because they have super noses. They rock the blue and yellow spectrum. Now, while red and green are a blur, dogs can clearly see blues and yellows. So if you want to make fetch a little easier on your dog, grab a bright blue or yellow toy. Your dog will see it better and will appreciate your newfound insight into their world. The world is a doggy pastel party. Dogs see a more muted pastel version of the world. So while you're admiring a vivid rainbow, your dog's probably thinking, nice, love the blue and yellow highlights. Now, why they can't pick up the red ball? If you ever notice a dog running right past a red toy you just threw to them, it's not because they're ignoring you, okay, maybe sometimes, but they just literally can't see it clearly. Your dog is not the Picasso of color perception. But their vision is still top tier. You can see gray, they see better gray. So they might not ace a color vision test, but they make up with it with their excellent night vision and motion detection. They might not spot the red frisbee, but they'll definitely see the squirrel moving 50 yards away. It's all about priorities. So to sum it all up, dogs are amazing companions, workers, employees, officers of law, members of the military, also members of your family that are your best friend who, if they felt like it, could tear your throat out if you piss them off enough. And still better than cats. I once read a study that they talked about if you died and your animals were locked in with you, with no food, no water. They said that dogs would take 2 weeks before they began to feed on you. And this is gross, I know. But they said they'll start at your fingertips and almost apologetically eat the bare minimum. Same experiment with cats. The cats began eating you in 3 days and they started with your face. I don't know if that test is true. Sure sounds like it though. Well, that's it for today's episode. Please like, subscribe, share the video. Have you tried sharing? It is ridiculously easy. Go ahead and try it. I'll wait here. Click on more of my videos just to keep the weird rolling. And for those watching, today's code word is Old Yeller. Because, yeah, put that down in the comments for a little good dog karma and don't act like you don't need that. Take care. Have a great day.